Welcome, Mr. Dome, and welcome to this crypto update. As you can see from the price is now basically at this channel top right now. So most likely what we're looking for next is further downside. But it is not as easy as that because one good news from Trump can actually push the price higher, or a one large whale purchase can still knock the price over to the upside. And once that happens, then I will be looking for new all-time highs and take out the liquidity pocket basically all the way up to $114,000, and then even higher, maybe even $130,000 within a couple of months if we have a breakout. But most likely, like I've showed you in the previous videos, I think Bitcoin would like to have a pullback to the downside first to basically go back to this trend line here. In my opinion, that would make the most sense. So a $104,000 Bitcoin, even $103,000 Bitcoin price would is still completely possible. Looking at the RSI here, what you can clearly see is that we had this bullish trend here, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, but that actually got broken when Bitcoin fell to 99K in this drop here. And that was a little bit annoying because the RSI did not give us uh, a bullish divergence signal with this RSI move here. So this told me that most likely what Bitcoin will want to do is it will want to continue the move to the downside. But that is only a probability. It doesn't mean it will have to do so, but this basically gave me reasons for concern, because previously what happened here is we basically had a perfect line going to this parabolic move when Bitcoin price went up about 50% in a matter of couple of months. We did not break the trend line to the downside at all. So once that happened here, that made me more cautious with this price move that we're currently looking at. So be mindful that even though we're looking for Bitcoin to be bullish in the medium term, in the very, very near short term, this is not actually the best time to buy Bitcoin with a low risk to reward ratio. It's much better to buy it once Bitcoin has established above this range here, or if we actually have that nice pullback to the downside first. So now let me actually show you the biggest news that we've seen throughout this week, or since my last update. And the big thing that will come, that will shape the narrative for crypto for the medium term, is actually the Trump administration. Now, I have had a lot of beef with the Trump administration, mostly to do with their foreign policy supporting Israel's genocide, but at the same time, I cannot ignore the fact that they are basically trying to, at least for now, pump the crypto narrative. And they have a vested interest to do so because the Trump family owns the World Liberty Fi protocol. And as you can see from this tweet here, they are now making the WLFI tokens transferable. And I knew this was coming. Basically, everybody knew this was coming, even though the white paper said that the WLFI will not be transferable because I think it broke some rules, so it's not 100% legal. But now, since the the token is already launched and people have received their shares of the WLFI tokens, right now you cannot transfer them over to any other person. The price is basically $0. But once it becomes transferable, then there will be a price for the token. Now, how high can the WLFI price go once it gets out? For that, what you have to understand about the protocol here is that there will be 100 billion tokens in total supply. And Eric Trump here says that WLFI will join the top 10 coins on the coin market cap. And if it joins the top 10 coins on the coin market cap, then it will be at least $35 billion in total market cap. Now, because there are 100 billion tokens in total, and basically the initial market cap will be 25 billion, the initial supply will be 25 or 20 billion, $25 billion circulating supply initially. Then if the price of the token will be 80 cents, That will be still less than $35 billion market cap, obviously about $20 billion market cap in that scenario. But if you had invested $10,000 in the pre-sale, then you might be looking for a return of $500,000. So that is completely insane if that will happen, and that will fuel the crypto narrative that hey, it's time to take risk on again because there's this huge, massive success initiated by Trump. So now you all should buy crypto again. I think that will be the talking points in the financial news media outlets when this finally launches. Now, it doesn't have to be this high, even if it's 10 times smaller, we're still looking for a 5x return on the investment here, and that is already massive. And in that scenario, the market cap will only be $2 billion, which is practically peanuts. And I don't think that will be the case because the Trump meme coin that actually was able to reach $40 billion in market cap as well. And even now for the WLFI protocol, they already have $2 billion worth of stable coins. So the protocol at the initial hype and initial wave will probably at least match the $2 billion. So all in all, if you participated in the pre-sale, most likely you are looking to make your money back. Now, if we get to any amounts like this, I will probably just sell my allocation and just buy Bitcoin with it, because well, I don't really trust the family with my finances at the moment, and I think there will be too much hype about it. So I will be basically looking for a quick exit. But many people will probably buy this token because it's hyped by everybody, and even I will make a video about the WLFI token when it finally launches. Now, when will this token launch? I think it will launch basically within the next month. That's what I'm looking for. So after this launches, that's when I do believe we will start to see a major altcoin season. Even though I don't really like to say altcoin season anymore, because it hasn't really paid out lately. But I think money will be rotating to other alts once this has had its pump and people take their profits out and all these things start to happen. So that's the major thing going on. Now, going further, Michael Saylor basically posting again that he will buy more Bitcoin within the next 12 to 24 hours after sharing this screenshot. MetaPlanet has bought another 1,000 Bitcoin worth $108 million. Now they hold 13,350 Bitcoin in their treasury. And then there's a new company called Vanity Coffee from Spain, and they are looking to make a €1 billion Bitcoin plan. And when I was looking into this at face value, this looked great. Like, okay, they're gonna buy $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, and that's good. But my question is, where will they get the money? And this is where things start to look less good, because this Vanity Coffee, they actually only manage 6 locations in Spain. So is hardly, you can even call it a coffee chain. Is more like a uh, well, I don't know what to call it, but it's a coffee company, and very, very small one, but they are publicly traded in Spain, and that gives them the edge. So here you can see that they were actually the first company, first publicly listed Bitcoin treasury company in Spain, after basically just holding 54 Bitcoin uh, uh, that they bought this year. Now, uh, even this article here basically gives a little bit criticism that Vanity's small size and relative inexperience in the crypto industry might prove a hurdle for its grand ambitions. So even though it's good, it remains to be seen if they are able to raise the capital and if they are able to pull this off. But it seems like they have partnered with a few companies here, uh, similar to MicroStrategy and MetaPlanet. Vanity Coffee redefines its business model and will use Bitcoin as its main reserve asset. and accumulate large amounts of Bitcoin. So they have partnered with Alpha Blue Ocean and Alicante. Sorry, Alicante is a city. Let's see. Bit2Me was the other partner that they have uh, achieved. So maybe they will be able to pull this off. All in all, that is more Bitcoin adoption. So even if they are able to buy $100 million worth of Bitcoin, that's still all good for us. Then Bit Digital, they previously they held Bitcoin, and now they're actually planning to convert all of their Bitcoin holdings to Ethereum while they are winding down their Bitcoin mining operations. So even though Bitcoin, at least until this point, has been the vocal point of this crypto bull run, and all of the altcoins are basically just side shows, it starts to seem to me that Ethereum will be a major winner in the medium term compared to Bitcoin. And that's not only because we're seeing massive accumulation on Ethereum, it's also because the World LibertyFi protocol, this will launch on Ethereum. So you can understand that if retail investors come to the market, they will most likely kind of be forced into the Ethereum ecosystem through the WLFI token. So for these reasons, Ethereum looks very tasty in my opinion. And then Central Bank of Bolivia uh, basically now is saying that their virtual asset operations grew by more than 630% to $430 million within 1 year. So this is good news, and they will continue to focus on crypto assets, obviously. Now, where is Bolivia? It is in Latin America, right next to Argentina and Brazil. So it's their neighbor. So obviously they will want to have uh, these a strategy with crypto and even Bitcoin. So this is very good, and they urge everyone to use Bitcoin for payments. So this is nice. This is the kind of adoption that we want to see in the world. So I'm very happy to see this piece of news as well. And then the Trump's big beautiful bill, uh, it has now passed the Senate with a vote 51 to 49. So narrowly passed. I think it will just go through this Senate vote. I feel most of it is for show. I think even the Democrats want it to get passed because it raises the debt limit and it funds some of their programs as well. So anybody who is voting against it, it's just theatrics. So most likely, I will give it 98% chance that it will go through, and there's not going to be any major hiccups. And like I said here, like the bill or not, this is actually bullish for crypto. And Jesse here is asking how so, and I'm just saying because this bill raises the debt limit by $4 trillion. That's a 10% increase to the current government debt. That means inflation is coming, and inflation makes people gamble. And also the big beautiful bill, or the Build Back Better bill, once it gets passed, then this administration, they can focus on pumping their crypto bags that they've openly advocated for. The WLFI goes live, and then maybe they will do the Bitcoin treasury strategy through USA as well, and they will pump their bags and sell it to the retail investors. That's how I see the plan playing out. So even if you don't like it, I think that's going to happen regardless. So most likely, crypto will have some fireworks later this year. And then uh, Bitcoin long-term holders are stacking Bitcoin, 800,000 Bitcoin per month, the highest accumulation rate in history per crypto quant. So if this data here is correct, what you are looking at is this green line here, and that is the net position change of large whales. And when this is green, it means that the whales have accumulated. And previously, you can see that this we saw a similar peak right before the parabolic move, the 50% move to the upside. Also, we saw at this low massive amounts of accumulation, and that led to this. That was a 100% move to the upside as well. And previously we saw it here and here. Not the optimal times to buy exactly, but all in all, when whales are buying, at least the Trump administration, they have uh, already their dumping uh, ground ready, which is the retail investors when that they are finally lured into crypto through his presidency. Then Ethereum, basically the same story. Whales have bought nearly 1 million Ethereum in one single day, the largest daily buy since 2018. So massive amounts of Ethereum accumulation as well. So all in all, what we are seeing is just adoption across the board. And then finally, Mikey Bull, he shared this analysis on his X page, and I just wanted to copy it from here because I thought it made a lot of sense. So this is the Bitcoin dominance chart, and as you can see, these are the basically a sign for a potential double top, and maybe this trend line will finally break to the downside. Now I know I've been saying this for a long time already, and I was one of the people who thought that the Bitcoin dominance would already break to the downside, and we would have those altcoin rallies. A couple of times it never happened, but maybe this time it will be different. It remains to be seen. But I don't really think the altcoins will really pop off until the WLFI finally launches and people get their exit liquidity out of that, and they start to rotate into other things from that exit. Now, looking at the ETFs, going into the fundamentals, we're basically seeing massive amount of ETF uh, accumulation here. So this is very, very nice to see. Obviously, we want to see ETF holders accumulate Bitcoin, and that's basically what they have been doing. No signs of weakness on this chart at all. So that is nice to see. And then on sentiment, really nothing crazy to look at here. Basically, everything is decent. I'm not seeing warning signs. I'm not really seeing any major bullish signs. But all in all, looking at the market cap of stablecoins, that is still going to the upside here. So this grew about, let's see, what is it, June 23rd to now. So it grew about $2 billion last week as well. So this pace, about $2 billion per week, continues to be roughly the speed at which stable coins are being minted onto the blockchain. So this is nice. This is still bullish, not giving me any warning signs. And also looking at old whale wallets, we're not really seeing a lot of profit taking, even as price is reaching this resistance level here. So this chart looks good to me as well, that maybe we would break out of this. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, because when we look at the short-term fundamentals and looking at the spot order book depth, this shows us the difference between limit buy and limit sell orders within a 3% price move from the current point. And as you can see, as Bitcoin has reached this resistance level, there's still a lot of people basically looking to short, or sorry, to sell their Bitcoin if Bitcoin would have a breakout. And honestly, I don't really understand it, because right now, what would make most amount of sense, in my opinion, is to sell now, not while we already have the breakout. But the the order books don't agree with me. They would like to sell here if Bitcoin goes to $110,000, and that to me doesn't really make sense. I don't really get it why they would sell into the breakout here, but that's what they are doing. So that's what I'm reporting here as well. That there's a lot of sell pressure limiting a breakout from this current price level. Let me change this to 1% to see what is this, minus $67 million. And on the 3%, this was negative $200 million. So a lot of sell pressure. That's kind of why I believe that Bitcoin will have that one more push to the downside before we have the breakout. But sometimes, even though the order books look bearish, the buyers still flock in and then push the price higher. So it can happen. But even as you can see here on the futures side, we're seeing about minus $200 million here to the negative as well, or minus $160 million more selling than buying. So basically, both spot markets and futures market are looking to sell to this pump here. So be careful in the short term, but in the medium term, I'm sure looking at the liquidation heat map, this is the liquidity pocket here. $111 million is the hot zone, and then this actually stretches all the way up to $114,000. This is where most of Bitcoin liquidity is currently at. So this is where the price would obviously like to go in the medium term. So all in all, what I'm expecting is basically the same thing I showed you last week, which is that the price would go to about $103,000. And from there, I think we will have a breakout. Now, it is possible that we still go to that 91K price level here, have like a major shakeout on the market. Might as well, may not go there directly. It could go like this, and then we go to touch maybe this trend line here, even go to 90K or so. But all in all, that is, I'm just sharing that as a possibility, but most likely what will happen with Bitcoin and with other crypto assets is that we will have this breakout at some moment in time, and then you better hold on to your hats when Trump starts promoting his crypto his crypto grift, and he wants to lure in the exit liquidity. So that's what I expect for the remainder of the year. But all in all, we're bullish, but just in the short term, I think the dip to 103,000K is still very much in the books, in my opinion. Even lower than that, possible, but right now, basically 103K is what I'm looking for. If we have a breakout, then I'm trying to obviously try to catch this breakout here for some even more profits. But basically, that's the update for you guys today. Now, you can still get access to Phemex.com and their massive welcome reward program if you use my affiliate link in the description or this invitational code here. One of the major features of Phemex.com is the low fees that it offers, only 0.01% if you are trading with leverage, either on the long side or on the short side. You can do both here. Obviously, they have their own trading bots here and many other features, and now they even have a trading competition where you are get when you get where you can get access to even more benefits and bonuses. So consider joining the Phemex.com as well, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.